Welcome back to Football Daily for this week's transfer talk. It's now December, which means the window opens next month, so let's get straight into this week's rumours. Where else is there to start than Man United? On Monday, the appointment of Ralf Rangnick as interim manager was announced, with the German set to take on a consultancy role within the club at the end of the season upon a new permanent head coach taking control. During his brief stint in charge, Rangnick will look to implement the style of football he's become famous for, and that also means he might well bring in a few new faces, including one he's already familiar with. And that new name he already knows well is none other than Amadou Haidara, who's been part of the Red Bull programme since 2016 when he was signed by Salzburg from his youth academy in Mali. Now 23 in the central midfielder, has been part of the Leipzig setup for 2 years, recently making his 100th appearance for Die Roten Bullen as he's developed into one of Jesse Marsch's most important players. Let's not forget that Rangnick orchestrated Haidara's switch from Austria to Germany, so of course being part of the system means he's already in tune with Rangnick's high pressing style, which has been implemented across the Red Bull clubs. And according to the Times, thanks to a surprisingly reasonable release clause, he's been catapulted to the top of the new United boss's shortlist, leapfrogging other long-term targets. With Leeds unwilling to sell Calvin Phillips and West Ham's asking price for Declan Rice now topping £100 million, Haidara's reported £33 million escape fee could prove pretty decent value for money. And as already mentioned, his familiarity with the system gives him an edge over the likes of similarly valued Aurelien Tchouameni, who's currently at Monaco. The Old Trafford club will reportedly be sending scouts to watch the Malian's performances first in the Bundesliga this weekend, before seeing how he does as Leipzig host Man City next Tuesday in the Champions League. If they're suitably impressed, and there's no reason they shouldn't be, then it's expected Haidara could well become Rangnick's first major Manchester United signing. United fans, though, I want to hear from you. Do you think Haidara could be the answer to our long-term defensive midfield issues? Let me know in the comments below. If you are new to the channel as well, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe whilst you're down there. It does mean a lot and we make great videos every single day. One central midfielder that has previously been linked with Man United is Inter Milan's Marcelo Brozovic. The Croatian was the centre of a lot of speculation last summer as his contract is set to expire at the end of this campaign. And with a new deal yet to be agreed with the Serie A giants, a number of clubs are on high alert. One club that are prepared to make a big move for the 29-year-old are Newcastle United, whose new owners are still identifying players that could well be their statement signing. And according to The Athletic, the Magpies are willing to offer crazy money. The figure is reported to be about £7 million or 135 grand a week, around a third higher than his current 100 grand a week deal at San Siro. But considering Newcastle currently sit bottom of the Premier League without a win to their name so far this campaign, it might not come as a surprise that Brozovic is not interested in a switch to St James's Park. In fact, the money he's demanding from his current employers in Italy isn't much more than he's currently earning, and the two parties appear to be hopeful that a new 4-year contract is on the horizon. However, if nothing is agreed by the time January rolls round, then Brozovic is set to be in high demand. New Tottenham boss Antonio Conte was reportedly keen on reuniting with Brozovic. However, after our exclusive interview with Gianluca Di Marzio, it seems like that's not going to be the case.
Will Marcelo Brozovic and Stefan de Vrij be joining Antonio Conte at Spurs?
I don't think that these kind of players will leave Inter Milan in January because they want to win the title. Brozovic is talking to renew the contract. De Vrij is so important for Simone Inzaghi. And then Tottenham and Antonio Conte, Fabio Paratici, Daniel Levy, they want young players. Top players, but young players. So Kessie, not in January, but Kessie could be. He's not top, but he's a very good player. But the philosophy of Tottenham is to get top young players. So Brozovic and De Vrij are too old for this project.
If you want to watch our full exclusive interview with Gianluca Di Marzio and a host of other transfer experts, head over to Eurofootball Daily right now. Next up, we're talking about Renato Sanches. That's because according to Calcio Mercato, Newcastle United are interested in the central midfielder as well. The Portuguese seems set on a move away from the French champions Lille, having previously stated that only injury prevented him getting a transfer during the summer when both AC Milan and Barcelona were reportedly interested. Arsenal are also said to be eyeing up the 24-year-old, whom Lille have slapped a reported €35 million on. It's also been claimed that AC have already put an impressive financial package on the table, with Sanchez's agent Jorge Mendes pushing for his client to get his move as soon as January. So far, Sanchez has had yet another injury-ridden campaign, starting just 7 of a possible 20 matches in Ligue 1 and the Champions League. But that doesn't seem to be deterring anyone, with Newcastle also willing to outbid all other interested parties. But where do you guys at home think Renato Sanches is going to end up next month? Let us know in the comments. The final name linked with Newcastle is, of course, Barcelona outcast Philippe Coutinho, who has recently returned from a serious knee injury and is once again playing regular football. Or at least he's appearing in most matches. The reality is he's only started 4 of a possible 20 fixtures, none of which have come since Xavi was named the new manager almost a month ago. Having struggled to settle at Barca following his mega move from Liverpool in January 2018, there's long been rumours that the Brazilian is on his way out of the club. And finally, it looks like he might be leaving for good. Of course, he almost left after spending 1920 on loan at Bayern, although the Germans neglected to turn his temporary stay into a permanent one. As little as 2 weeks ago, it seemed that Coutinho was going to spurn all approaches for his signature, despite the Blaugrana's willingness to move him on for financial reasons, having already rejected Newcastle once. But now, according to El Nacional, after discovering his situation will not change under new management, he's willing to leave. Earlier this month, he did have concerns over Newcastle's current situation, but something seems to have swayed his mind, as the 29-year-old looks to rediscover the form he had in his final months with Liverpool. El Nacional claimed that Barca are willing to accept €30 million for the midfielder, but more importantly, they would be able to shift his wages off the books, which is said to be upwards of 20 mil. But are Newcastle in the midst of a relegation scrap really going to bring in Philippe Coutinho? I'm pretty unconvinced. We brought you news yesterday that Barca were interested in Manchester City forward Ferran Torres, with the Spaniard having handed in a transfer request ahead of a potential move. However, another player they seem to be keeping tabs on is Christian Pulisic, who's not been one of Thomas Tuchel's favourite men at title-chasing Chelsea. The American, who cost £58 million from Borussia Dortmund in 2019, has racked up just 215 minutes across all competitions this campaign, although he does have 2 goals to his name. He has had a spell of well-documented injury problems, although most recently the emergence of Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech, as well as other options like Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, have meant that Pulisic has slipped down the pecking order. According to reports in Spain, Chelsea would apparently consider a bid in the region of £42.5 million from Barcelona for the attacker, although they've also set their sights on Frenkie de Jong being part of the deal. Xavi, though, has said that the Dutch midfielder is not for sale under any circumstances. Sean Dyche's Burnley need all the help they can get at the moment, currently finding themselves in 18th in the Premier League, and with just 1 win from their opening 12 matches, seem to be set for a season-long relegation battle. This means that James Tarkowski will be sticking around at Turf Moor until the summer, despite the chance the Clarets could lose him for free, as that's when his contract expires. The 29-year-old is a club icon, closing in on 200 appearances for the club, but has reportedly made the decision to run down his contract after the Lancashire side knocked back offers of up to £30 million last summer, with West Ham among those interested. Burnley are doing what they can to ensure that the centre-back, who has 2 England caps, will remain at the club heading into the 2022-2023 campaign, offering him multiple deals that would have seen him become the highest paid player in the club's history, but Tarkowski has said no to all of them. West Ham are expected to make another bid for him this winter window for around £7 million, a serious reduction on what Burnley were asking for Tarkowski in the summer, but it's likely it won't be accepted and the defender is going to have to accept his fate. And the rumours are they're looking at Liverpool's backups. With Virgil van Dijk back from injury, Joel Matip in form, and Ibrahima Konate settling in well following his summer moves, it looks like Nathaniel Phillips could well be allowed to leave Anfield. The 24-year-old impressed last season, making 18 starts during an injury crisis for Jurgen Klopp. And reports from Football Insider suggest that West Ham are preparing to make a £12 million bid for the defender, as they look to strengthen their credentials for that 4th Champions League spot. So that was today's transfer news. Expect it to start coming your way even more frequently over the coming weeks as we approach the January window. But what big moves are you looking forward to seeing? Let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later.